Tonight on CBS 42 News, a major retailer comes under fire for their decision to open Thanksgiving Day. And when you show up to shop, there's a new way to pay, but is it safe? Plus, it's life in the slow lane. We take a look at what's being done to get people in and out of the Jefferson County Courthouse faster. But first, it's a deadly day in Jefferson County as domestic disputes leave one woman stabbed to death and another shot to death.
And killed in front of her two daughters. A mother is dead tonight at the hands of her husband. Good Sunday evening to you. I'm Natalie Tejeda. Thank you so much for staying up with us tonight. It was a shocking case of domestic violence out of Pinson that finally came to a close after a high-speed chase. This is exclusive video you'll see only here on CBS 42. This is where sheriff deputies finally caught the driver of the SUV right here on Interstate 59, just south of Trussville, exit 141. That driver is now in custody, and that's where our Tiffany Westry picks up the story.
Natalie, two teenage girls have lost their mother as a result of the shooting here on Cathy Circle in Pinson. It's a scene you wouldn't expect to see on a Sunday afternoon.
I heard the sirens and fire department, so I came out to see what was going on.
Well, went to church this morning and came home, and my next-door neighbor was outside and came over and told us there had been a shooting.
It was just after 12 o'clock when Jefferson County Sheriff's deputies arrived at the home on Cathy Circle to find a 43-year-old woman dead and another woman suffering from a gunshot wound. There were two others inside the home. Thankfully, they were unharmed.
I'm just glad the kids weren't hurt, but I feel for the family. I'm sorry for the loss. And it's a shame to lose your parent like that, and then they had to witness it to boot. So, like I say, it's going to be a long time for them to heal, I'm sure.
Neighbors say the woman leaves behind 13 and 16-year-old daughters.
It shocked me. It just shocked me.
The shooter, her husband, according to police, he didn't get too far. The 54-year-old was caught on Interstate 59 after a short chase and taken into custody.
I think we all need to pray about it. That's what our sermon was about, was love, and I think that's what we're lacking. This world needs more of it, because that's no kind of love there.
One thing that was helpful to sheriff's deputies on the scene trying to connect the dots was home security video from a neighboring house. In Pinson, Tiffany Westry, CBS 42 News.
And of course, we're going to stay on top of the story and let you know when formal charges are filed in this case. But that wasn't the only domestic violence incident that sheriff deputies are investigating this evening. It was earlier today that emergency crews were called to the 4800 block of Long Meadow Lane in McCalla. Investigators say they were following up on an alarm call when a man admitted to them that he had just stabbed his wife. She was found dead inside their home. He is currently in custody but has not yet been charged.
Look at this video. It's a huge tornado, major tornado outbreak today. This is in Washington, Illinois. The National Weather Service has confirmed probably between EF3 and EF4 damage, tossed cars and debris everywhere. At least 5 deaths are to blame in this Illinois, that one state alone. It also wreaked havoc in Indiana, Michigan, and into Ohio. Now that storm is heading into parts of western New York, western Pennsylvania, and even down here in Tennessee. This system was very strong. Again, we had between 18 tornado warnings at a time, so that was a very dangerous point. But this is what the tail end looks like. This is a severe thunderstorm watch you see here in yellow. It's going through the Nashville area, and eventually this rain will be getting into our neck of the woods, but it will be just a little bit more scattered rain, maybe a few rumbles of thunder, but good news for us there. I'll talk about this and your extended forecast in a few minutes.
Thank you so much, Ted. Well, a congregation that watched their church burn to the ground last Sunday now has a new temporary place to worship. New Hope Missionary Baptist Church of Dora was destroyed by this early morning fire after more than 60 years of existence. To help them stay together in this difficult time, the First Baptist Church of Dora is inviting this displaced congregation to join them and even use some of their facilities. The church building was not insured, so New Hope is fundraising to rebuild. If you would like to make a donation, you'll find information to do so on our website at cbs42.com. Also recovering from a fire, Malia Cochran and her family. They lost their home last week. The house was a total loss, but the people of Hueytown are proving that home is more than just walls and a roof.
I've always been a giver, you know, and not really been a receiver, and now I know that I do have people that love me and are there for me.
Sportster Bar and Grill in Hueytown hosted this benefit for the Cochran family today. Friends of the family say they know that Malia would do the same for them, and this small fundraiser is the least they could do. More fundraisers will follow. And have you already started planning your Black Friday strategy? Well, you may be able to leave Best Buy off your list because they're opening Thanksgiving Day. The decision to open at 6 p.m. on Thursday isn't sitting well with many employees, their families, and some customers who are making their displeasure known on the company's Facebook page. But the disgust is trickling over onto those who traditionally line up in advance for the sales. We checked with the Black Friday tailgaters in Fultondale, and they too are less than thrilled about the change.
We're actually pretty upset about it too, because it is a huge fellowship for us. We get to come out and have a lot of fun and really just get the community involved, and that got cut short for us, so we're not happy either.
But sometimes it's that, you know, Black Friday shoppers are crazy and they're after the deals, and we're really not. I mean, honestly, I'm getting some stuff this year, but I could just give it to the person behind me if they really wanted it.
Now, we reached out to Best Buy. They tell us, quote, our decision to open at 6 p.m. on Thanksgiving was based on the millions of Americans who made it clear a year ago that they wanted to shop that evening. Our customers who camp out in the days leading up to Thanksgiving are only a portion of the customers who we expect will visit our stores. And hey, if you plan on shopping this Black Friday, there's a new app gaining popularity that allows you to use your phone as your payment option. Last week, Verizon began supporting the ISIS mobile wallet on most of its newest phones. The app allows a user to sync their credit or debit card information to their phone. When you reach the checkout counter, all you have to do is activate the app and place the phone on the pad to complete the purchase. Now, we spoke with the Cybercrime Division at the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office about security concerns.
As long as you're using the provided security measures within the application and through your mobile device, you should feel somewhat comfortable, but those security measures can be circumvented with the right tools and the right person with the know-how.
To be on the safe side, you can change the lockout to timeout after a minute of non-use. Of course, if you do find your phone missing, you should contact your cell phone provider and your bank immediately. 50 years after the Civil Rights Movement, residents of Birmingham celebrate the progress made and highlight the work still to be done. Today's service not only honored many of those who marched in 1963, but also young people who are examples of courage in the face of adversity. The honorees were presented with medals and a certificate of leaders of Birmingham's NAACP branch. The event was part of a continuing year-long commemoration of the 50th anniversary of the Civil Rights Movement. Well, from fighting for civil rights to fighting the frustration of standing in line, we take a look at the life in the slow lane and what's being done to fix the problem in Jefferson County. Plus, pet owners, pay attention. There's a deadly virus that has veterinarians concerned. And Nick Saban explains why the Tide was anything but their best in Starkville yesterday. That's coming up later in sports.
And I'm tracking this line of showers and thunderstorms moving through the Nashville area. When will it get into our state? I'll talk about that. But first, here's tonight's Eco Savings Race.
And welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. There's a new threat for man's best friend. It started as a deadly virus common in pigs, but now there's a growing fear that it may be crossing species lines. And many pet owners planning to take the family dog along for holiday trips or out of state should know the facts. This virus is believed to kill by causing internal bleeding. As of now, no one knows how the virus is transmitted, and so far there have been roughly 20 cases reported between California, Michigan, and Ohio, none thus far in Alabama. We spoke with Dr. William Lamb at Vulcan Park Animal Care. He says it's important to understand there were other factors involved in cases where infected dogs died.
Those that have tested positive for circovirus have also tested positive for other viruses as well. So the dilemma in the veterinary community is we know it's a component, but is it the sole component or is it a component with other things that have to go together?
Dr. Lamb adds the virus should not be the deciding factor on whether to travel out of state with your pet, but if your dog begins to exhibit any signs of sickness, go ahead and seek veterinary assistance immediately. And speaking of traveling, anyone who's tried to renew a car tag in Jefferson County has stood in the slow lane. As CBS 42's Trent Butler shows us, if you need to get a tag for that new car you just bought, bring your patients to the Jefferson County Courthouse and maybe a laptop, good book, and even some snacks.
The sign says, please wait to be called. And wait is the most appropriate word here at the Jefferson County Courthouse.
If I would have known this would have happened, I'd just take the bus. I'd just take the bus, save on gas, and call it a day.
Yet Naomi Shelton can't call it a day just yet. Like many others here, she'll be sitting for hours on a bench just so she can buy her car tag.
I should have brought a tin of everything. I should have just brought the whole house with me.
This man, who will only call himself John Doe, says he mailed in his tag renewal at the beginning of October. But now, 6 weeks later, he has not received anything. So here he sits, holding onto a newspaper and quickly evaporating patience.
And I tried to call on the telephone for 3 or 4 days, never got an answer at all. I couldn't get through on the telephone. I tried to email through the website, never got a response back on that.
The level of frustration really varies here. We talked to one guy who says this is the 5th time he's been in this line. He's waited a total of 10 hours, but today his wait, 4.5 hours.
I have a fleet car, and they have a fleet office that should process my type of need, but they're closed for some reason. They're in there. I've knocked on the door. They've opened it, and they won't process it.
Jefferson County Revenue Director Travis Holsey says the line started winding through the courthouse once the county filed bankruptcy 2 years ago, and his department lost 60 workers. Yet Holsey is hopeful that car tags will be handed out faster in the new year. 10 new employees were just hired, and Jefferson County is planning to install new software that has been very effective in Tuscaloosa County.
The software is going to help the processing times. It will not be a total panacea, obviously, for eliminating the lines completely, but it will speed up processing.
Yet for now, the word speed will be used loosely as car and truck owners work on their waiting skills and, in some cases, life-altering projects.
Have you done your will? Because now would be a good time to think about that. I mean, you have some time to think here.
I have not, but if I have to stay here much longer, I may need a will.
Now, tomorrow night, in part 2 of our series, In the Slow Lane, you'll meet a man who's profiting off the long taglines at the Jefferson County Courthouse and helping those who can't afford to wait. And, of course, the holidays are just around the corner, so it's time to mark your calendar as we get ready to kick off our holiday toy drive. Coming up this Friday, November 22nd, it's the Step in the Name of Love Extravaganza 2013. The event begins at 7 at the Boutwell Auditorium. Admission's easy. Just bring a new unwrapped toy or non-perishable food item, which will benefit needy families in our area. We hope you will join us for a night of fun and entertainment from local step groups. And it should be fun and hopefully maybe some good weather if we just bring an umbrella, Ted.
Yeah, there could be some rain for Friday, but already talking about the holidays. I love the toy drive. It's a great job. Cynthia Gould does a great job with that, and so do the folks down at DYS. But tonight doesn't really feel like Christmassy, does it?
No. It's too soon, Ted.
No, it's warm out there too. Let's go live with our Magic City cam here, looking at the eye in the sky. We're looking at a very warm, but as you can see, that camera is shaking looking at Malfunction Junction there, I-65, I-20, 59. Well, we do have some storms, not too far away, but the temperature right now, 71 degrees. We were at 24 degrees just a few days ago in the morning. That was our low temp. Now here at the 10 o'clock hour, 71 degrees, 68 Tuscaloosa, 70 Clanton, 69 up in Coleman, and 70 in Gadsden. So we're looking at a very warm evening. Now, that's what caused up to the north a lot of severe weather, also with some dynamics here, where there's an upper-level low with a cold front that brought in some very, very dangerous storms, tornadoes in central Illinois as well as Indiana and Ohio. Now that storm now has a tail end moving through Nashville. There was a tornado watch. Now it's been trimmed to the severe thunderstorm watch. And that same line of showers and thunderstorms is now getting closer and closer here on Titan 3D radar. As we get in a little bit closer here, you can see a couple of spots popping up here just north of Arley and Coleman County. Phil Campbell getting some as well, and Cherokee getting some rain showers. And when can we expect it? Well, let's throw our TitanCast into motion here. Ahead of that cold front, showers and thunderstorms will pop up probably in the Birmingham area just before 2 a.m., and then it'll be in and out of here. It's a very fast-moving storm, so tomorrow morning you'll notice all that sunshine. Pretty good day tomorrow, and a few clouds on Tuesday, but overall looking pretty good. Our forecasted temperatures dropping down. There's that cold front. See that color change? 55 degrees by the morning. As we get into the noon, we'll be in the 60s, and then by 5 o'clock, 57 degrees, looking pretty good. Tonight's forecast, 55 degrees. Again, showers and thunderstorms, and they'll be kind of weakening as they get closer and closer to Birmingham, but yeah, you will hear some rumbles of thunder outside your window. Tomorrow, looking excellent, 66 degrees, a nice day, mostly sunny. A wind, though, from the north from 5 to 10 will be a little bit chilly, but overall looking like a pretty good day. How about the next 3 days? Well, 66 degrees for Monday, sunny on Tuesday with a few high clouds. Wednesday, sunny, 62 degrees. You notice one thing, we're at 71 now, but the temperatures will drop to 42, 39 degrees by Wednesday. How about the full extended forecast now? Here we go. We're looking at 62 degrees with a few clouds on Thursday. Friday, well, we're going to have more clouds move in, 66 degrees. We're watching our next system that could bring in some rain for Friday night, so yeah, that could affect the high school football games. Another storm system that doesn't look nearly as potent will bring in some showers and thunderstorms on Saturday, and that will cool things down once again.
You know what I'm looking forward to, though, even though we're going to cool things down a little bit, not the lows in the mid-20s that we saw last week. So.
December's next month.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll look forward to that. Know what else we are looking forward to? Talking to Patrick Claiborne because the BCS rankings are out.
Yeah, you talk about, everybody wants to think about their Christmas list. This is the list that everybody gets all fired up for. Week 13, Alabama, Florida State, Ohio State, Baylor, Auburn just behind Oregon by about 0.05 of a point, but that would definitely change with a win over the Crimson Tide in a couple of weeks. The next game for the Tigers, that is it, the Iron Bowl after the insanity that was Saturday, November 16th, 2013, or its more appropriate name, Find a Georgia Fan and Hug Them Day. More on how the Auburn defense made it happen coming up. And after a defensive struggle in Starkville, the Tide remained on the top, but the win seemed uninspiring. Will it inspire focus? Melissa Kim reports from Starkville.
While Alabama did come away with a 20-7 victory over Mississippi State, you wouldn't be able to tell by the way the players were walking out of the locker room after the game to head home. An uncharacteristic performance by the Tide, especially by the offense.
When the home crowd and the defense, the other opposite team, whatever, is cheering, after a loss, then definitely you need to do your job.
We still didn't play Bama ball. We did in spurts, but we didn't do it consistently.
I don't think we came out and executed as good as we can, and playing Alabama way and keeping the Alabama standard. I don't think we did that tonight.
It's very disappointing. Defense did a pretty good job tonight. Offense, and, we just got to go back on the practice field and work, man. All around, it was just a horrible job tonight.
It was good for us to struggle and still get a win. It always helps your team kind of bounce back from that. So let's kind of remind you you're not as good as you think, so got to come to work.
And A.J. McCarron elaborated on that, saying tough victories like this are, quote, great for the team because it keeps them from becoming complacent. In Starkville, Melissa Kim, CBS 42 Sports.
All right, thanks, Melissa. Get out there in Starkville and enjoy some Waffle House to celebrate. That's how Gus Malzahn phrased his Saturday night. More on the Tigers coming up. And is there a beef with the booth? Nick Saban on replays in college football. That's all coming up next. The CBS 42 News at 10 continues.